Perhaps this is a bad time. Maybe we should do this another day. You're feeling a little better.
Just need a moment. I need a moment, excuse me.
Donovan walks into the bathroom.
Now, I just want to ask you, what benefit do you see in having a cast of actors read your script out loud?
I got to see my jokes that did work when the whole audience laughed. I got to see jokes that I didn't really intend as jokes, but people laughed at it anyways. I was like, I guess that's funny. I'll have to accentuate that moment. And then I got to see the jokes that just were epic fail, where it just was read like dialogue and nobody really got it. So I definitely know from my writing style and the way it's read what works as far as a joke and comedy and what doesn't. So I got a better sense of my own sense of humor, really.
Right, and what do you think is the biggest asset to doing this type of atmosphere and event for other writers?
For other writers to come to this?
Yeah.
Or
for other writers to come to this.
For other writers, I mean, one, you get to see, it's inspiring. I know when I saw Byron's The Dreamed, I was on fire at that point. Like, I want to do that. I want to go through that. I want that to happen for my script. Because he got such great feedback from so many talented people that I wanted to be in that seat. I wanted people to critique it and to give me every thought they could possibly give and exhaust my imagination completely. So, yes, for a writer, I mean, it's inspiring.
For Troy, with the blank page, reading an act at a time, and then tonight having the whole thing acted out in long form. Talk to us about the difference.
When you're doing the one act at a time, like you have a beginning and an end, and it's an act, but you don't really get to, and then you have 2 weeks, and then you come back and you read another act. So the last act isn't fresh on people's minds. So you have time to forget what happened with the first act, then you read the second act and it's good, and then you read the third act 2 weeks later and the third act could be good, but when you actually put them all together and read them through, there may be moments of lulls and there may be these epic time spans where there's really nothing happening, and you don't really get that reading 30 pages at a time. Reading it straight through, one reading, all the actors, it is phenomenal because you get to see literally your pacing right there in front of you. So, yeah, I mean, the 30 pages at a time is awesome because that helps you get your critiques and where you need to be as far as your story structure, but this helps as far as getting your pacing and timing right. The one thing between the writer's group and this is, in the writer's group, you read 30 pages and then people give you copious notes. And then you bring in your second act and people give you copious notes, but they don't actually get to go back and see the corrections in the way you took your script from the first act and all the ideas that they gave you. So then you're getting all these notes from the first act, all these notes from the second act, and all these notes for the third act, but the writers never get to see any of these notes actually implemented. So they're still seeing a rough draft of the script. This allows all the writers to come in, look at it, and they can see where their ideas that they gave the writer, where they're being implemented and where they're being seen. So the first writers group is, blank pages, rough draft. And when you get to this point, it is a polished draft.
Question for you is, why did you start this type of event of staged reading?
This came because this was a gap between pitch and the normal blank page readings, where we were at one point I was like, well, once it graduates at a blank page, we'll take it to pitch. But then I saw like a really missed opportunity, which was, well, let's let the writers see their entire script acted out with actors and not have the stress of having investors here, to give them one more powerful round of coverage so that they can get feedback from both the actors who are playing the characters and from a room full of writers and other anybody, because tonight was a good example of this, anybody that came in. So we had a handful of people who have never even heard of Happy vs. Sad giving Troy feedback. So I think Troy got a lot of great notes from a lot of different people. So now when we go to the pitch phase, Troy's going to have an even stronger script. And what was really exciting tonight was a lot of people already saw this as a marketable script. Well, now, the confidence that I'm going to have to put this in front of investors, I just even gone even higher. So we still have a little bit more work to do with Happy Versat as far as like taking the notes we got tonight and freezing them in, and Troy has to kind of figure out which ones he wants to shelve and which ones he wants to fuse in. So, but once he's real confident, then we're gonna put that into the recipe for pitch.